Okay, shall we start with, first of all, the mere fact that you showed up on the screen here tells me I think you vote for continuing the Women's Issues Committee. Am I right? Or do we want to discuss whether or not it's worthwhile continuing? I should say I've heard on the positive side from Paula, Elizabeth, Holly, Brenda, Vivian, and obviously I've voted myself too as interested in continuing. What say you?
I noticed that we left off the two girls that came at the end.
Lisa told me that she was now working some odd hours and she just didn't have time.
Oh,
and
that's fine, as long as we contacted them. I just didn't want them not to have been contacted.
I did not contact any of those that said they wanted to be guests because I felt we had to be sure there was a committee before we could invite any guests. So what's your thought? Are you willing to give the time and effort, or is it not worth it for you?
I enjoy our discussions, but I don't know. I just with the things that are going on, it's hard for me to focus on one of these issues right now, truthfully.
Yeah. What do you say, Holly?
I would agree with Brenda. I feel, if these are the, there's 4 of us that are interested. I'm not sure anyone else would be interested unless we can
Diane was
recruit some new
Did you hear
people.
from Diane at all?
What's that?
Did you hear from Diane at
I
all?
heard from Diane, but she didn't respond to my email. She was on the board and sort of representing us, except I don't know if she got fed up. She said she got too many emails from the board and she didn't want to be active or something for the rest of the year. So I assumed if she says she doesn't want to be active, it includes us, but I did include her in my emails and she didn't respond one way or the other. I was thinking I would call her on the phone. She and I have a comfortable phone relationship and let her know what we decided. So this will be really short if everybody feels that there are too many other things going on right now. On the other hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people said they were interested, at least in discussing it. So what do you think, Elizabeth? Where do you stand?
Well, as I said in my email, I think somebody needs to really hit reproductive rights. They're trying to take it all away, and we've got a mandate to do it from the league and from the National League. So there's no problem about that. The question is just how. My thinking.
I still haven't given up on, now I know the proper term is fair pay rather than equal pay, and fair pay includes considerations of maternity leave and all those things, which at least if you stretch it could be included under reproductive freedoms. So we're just us 4. If we don't get majority, which would be 3, I think 2 and 2 wouldn't do it.
What about, I just have a thought, what if we could do it a little more informally, which we did do this past year, and just, the hot points for each of us, we could keep up on that, on our own time. And if something comes up, send emails to the other people that still have an interest. If something becomes a big hot button for the administration or for the state of Florida or something, maybe we could reconvene and try to offset, like this reproductive rights situation. You know, really, unless you have someone who's focused in a chair and has goals in mind and objectives they want to accomplish, there's not a whole lot that gets done. And letters to the editor are great. You know, we should continue to do what's in our heart and send letters to the editor. But in conducting ourselves as a committee, I just don't know what we can accomplish at this point unless somebody's willing to take the reins and go with it and we have some direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I'm not willing. In fact, I tried to resign from the board and my resignation was not accepted. So I don't know what that means. Okay.
Elizabeth, do you have any thoughts? I know reproductive freedom is important to you as it is to all of us, but do you have some goals in mind and how to proceed or anything in order to do that? Or
Right now, my focus is on trying to talk the Santa Rosa County Board of County Commissioners into not extirpating wildlife everywhere in the county. And that's kind of,
I thought that was your hot button.
you know, they're getting ready to adopt the new land development code, which is going to do it. But, you know, until they change their attitude, the land development code really isn't going to change all much. And because they've got to, the people who are writing it have got to please the county commissioners. But until that door gets shut, I'm going to continue working on there. I'm probably beating my head against the brick wall, but I'll continue to beat it.
No.
No, you're fighting the good fight.
Yeah. Al keeps doing it too.
I can speak to what they're doing because I'm living with it.
Hmm.
And not that many people are having to live with it. So I'm very passionate about what
I do read your emails very consistently, but I haven't really responded to you because, like everybody else, I have a lot of other much smaller issues that I have to take care of.
And Escambia County, well, at least Pensacola has a mayor that is not.
We don't have, no, it's not the county, it's the city of Pensacola that has a mayor.
That's what I'm saying. But at least you have somebody in your local government that takes that attitude. We don't have anybody.
Yeah.
Mm.
Let me ask you about Santa Rosa County. Does it seem like most of the people in South Santa Rosa County are more progressive or whatever you want to call it than the ones in North Santa Rosa County?
I don't know, because there's a lot of, I mean, in my area right here, I know there's a lot more Democrats. They voted for Elizabeth Huey, who's a Democrat, for school board. And I mean, she was canvassing neighborhoods, as I understand it, for a couple of years, and she kind of met a lot of people. But in my particular precinct, she won most of the votes. And I don't know what that says exactly, but that they were looking for a change and they want to know who the person is. And it takes really a proactive approach to change this community down here. They've got people just don't look at who's running and that they should vote. They did this year because they well, obviously in Santa Rosa, they were for, I think, what was it, Elizabeth? They, like Diane Crummell hardly got any of the vote down here in Santa Rosa, but she got a lot of it in Escambia, but she did well at 45% considering we're a ruby red area.
Yeah. Does the military weigh more in Santa Rosa than in Escambia?
We're closer to Eglin.
Yeah.
I think there is more military here.
Yeah, but that isn't what flavors the discussion. Is that right?
But of course, Elizabeth Huey wasn't even running for the seat on the school board from this area when she won so much of the vote. She was running from another area, but it's still countywide voting on it.
All right, to come back to whether or not, it sounds to me that we don't really have a strong vote to start again with the committee. Am I right about that?
I
Why
think
don't
you're
we
right.
have
I
a
agree.
social, why don't we have a social meeting once a month so we can see each other's faces and say
See,
hi?
I would like to do
I
that,
would do that.
or even every 2 months, you know?
Or-
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
Well-
I feel like I'm restricted somewhat when we're always doing league work and we have to be bipartisan.
yeah.
Well, if the weather continues good, we could have an outdoor meeting in a park or something. And just,
Maybe after we get our second dose.
yep, how
I
many
can
have
find
had their
out which-
first shot?
Have you had, has everybody gotten their first vaccine?
I
Oh,
have.
I can't find it.
Yeah,
Oh, my
I get my
goodness.
second one on February 3rd.
I
Or-
get mine on February 2nd, so I
So
beat you.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm scheduled, so I hope that they have them all available then, which you kind of hear conflicting reports on that.
Yeah,
You know, they
Yeah.
told us that they would call us around February 3rd, but they didn't want to set the appointment up. And that would have been the 28th day. So I don't know if we're gonna,
where did you
I don't
get
know.
yours? I got mine in Milton.
I
But
got
it-
mine in Escambia County.
I got mine
Funny,
in Escambia
but
County.
I
I got
got
mine
it
at
through,
Baptist Health Park on 9
um,
Mile Road.
I got it through Sacred Heart, and it was the only one that had appointment times. When I finally got through was in Milton, and I tried to show up. No, I tried to get an appointment at midnight. I thought few people will want to do that. And as I was typing slowly and so on, a red bar came on and said, unfortunately, there were no more midnight appointments.
One thing I'd mentioned to you, Elizabeth, I went to see my skin doctor about 3 or 4 days ago. And she got her shot and she's supposed to get another one here soon. But she said one of her patients told her in the last couple of days that he just showed up at Sacred Heart Hospital in Pensacola later during the day, like say 2 or 3 o'clock. And they don't like to throw away doses.
Yeah,
And he was able to get that shot. So that's a long ways to go, I know, from Santa Rosa, but it's just a thought, you know, maybe some of these healthcare facilities or Baptist urgent care, I don't know if they have them here in Santa Rosa, but if you go late in the day, just see if they have any vials left.
Publix here has
That's another
been
thing.
doing them, but they say they have a capacity only for, I think they said 80 patients a day. And right now they're not giving out appointments, but it's by appointment only.
At
But
the-
I must say, once I found the community center in Milton, which is way out somewhere in the boondocks. They were well organized. They said, are you a 935? And I said, yes, here. And they said, ma'am, move over here. And then they said, please sit down. I said, no, you're ready. You can walk through. I got my shot. I sat there for 15 minutes. I got my card with the time for the second one, and I drove home.
At the last BOC, meeting, they said that they're going to be giving Sylvester's Catholic Church, which is right next to me. Their office has been closed. I guess they were open today, but I thought I'd wait and call tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just find out how I get in. I figured, you know, it'd be pretty busy today. So that's some of
I
it.
think you all know.
I'm very proud of this card.
Yeah, I think you all know Enid Siskin. She said she called 63 times. She knew there was a number she could call. So I said, how do you know it wasn't 60 or 65? And she said she used her iPhone, and you know, it counts how many times you call the same number. Well, anyway, all right. What shall we tell the rest of the people and the organization, that we are not ready for formal meetings?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that what else, that we will reconvene at a later time, or what? or not? Shall we just say we're not, at this time, we're not ready for formal meetings?
We don't have clear objectives, or we've got a lot of issues that we're interested in, but nothing that,
We can take no actionable items.
No action, that's a good, that sounds very professional. No,
what'd you say? No action?
no
actionable
actionable
items. No actionable items.
Items. Thank you.
items. Well, all right. Well, I thank you for dialing in or whatever you did. And I guess we will
Wait a
call it a
minute,
day.
Annalise. How are your repairs on your house coming?
Yeah.
Pardon?
How are the repairs, your repairs from Sally?
Oh, I wish you wouldn't even ask. It's so frustrating, but tomorrow the carpenter comes and the one thing that's been fixed, I have a widow's walk on the top of the roof. The railing has been replaced, the deck box has been replaced, all kinds of things. And tomorrow, weather permit, no, Thursday, he will come and paint. And that's, I am supposedly only allowed to repair things that would get worse if nothing was done. So I've done a number of small things, but don't ever get in a fight with an insurance company.
Mm.
Yeah. I discussed with the independent adjuster who is helping me, and he said, I had originally suggested that we would try to work with the insurance company, and then we would put a final offer together, and then we would sue them if they don't respond, which is usually what they do. However, there are people up in Panama City or Mexico Beach or whatever it's called. They have been, they've waited over 2 years for suits about the hurricane up there, and there's no light in sight because of the coronavirus. Only, I've forgotten, criminal cases or something will be addressed by the court until, I don't know when. So, because I had suggested I could go ahead and pay for it myself and then sue them for everything that I had actually spent. And I'm documenting everything that's being fixed here. But the independent adjuster said, don't count on a suit. So now we are working on, I've forgotten what it's called, what do you call it when you get a representative from each side and they hopefully split the difference?
Arbitration.
Subrogation?
Yes,
Arbitration, yeah.
Arbitration, yeah. But meanwhile, as I'm sitting here, there's no floor, well, there's a basic flooring, there's no floorboards or anything. All the bottoms of the walls are cut off and I can see the structure looks good. And when it rains, it's no longer coming through the walls. I don't know where it comes. The floor gets wet again, so I can't stand it much longer. But I live in the guest room and the guest bathroom is very comfortable.
Who is your insurance carrier, by the way?
Frontline, and they have insured most of the people here, and I hear stories that's worse than mine. My neighbor was getting an adjuster from the insurance company, and she said he was old and decrepit, probably like me. He wouldn't go up and look at the roof. And she's in the same situation. I had water coming in through the gable. The siding flew off and the waterproof layer was ripped. And so my walk-in closet was full of water. The bathroom, the living room was underwater. 2 windows were sucked out. My neighbor and I are sure there was a mini tornado. I had visualized the wind would blow in the window. No, it sucked them out. And the next day when my handyman came, he found them at the bottom of the water. There was maybe 3 feet of salt water on the ground here. Anyway, that's not what we were going to talk about, but thank you for asking. It's driving
Sorry
me
you're going
crazy.
through all this. Mm.
Yeah. All right, no actionable items, and we will have informal discussions. Is that fair to say?
That sounds good.
That sounds
Okay.
good.
Thank you for organizing this, Annalise.
Yes.
Okay, well, it's nice seeing you, and keep sending emails when you have something important to, or
Okay.
less important. I will certainly send out a huge email if I ever get more money from the insurance company.
We'll cross our fingers.
Thank you, Elizabeth. And I always read your emails with interest.
Thank you.
Okay, if I can figure out how to turn this off, yep. End meeting for all, okay?
Okay.
Nice
All
to
right,
see you
bye-bye.
all. Take care.